Welcome to My Why, a series of personal stories that share the history and impact of YPN, the premier provider of prenatal and parenting programs in East Central Iowa. We support, educate, and empower families since 1985. Join us in our mission and learn the why YPN for so many in our community.
Hello, listeners. Alejandro Pino here. Honored and privileged to serve as Executive Director of YPN. We are here for another My Why podcast. Again, this is something that we're trying to let people know why we do what we do. And one of the best parts of this for me is to interview amazing people, many of whom I work with on a daily basis. So today I am honored and privileged to introduce you to Liz Salas, who is our Latina parent educator and kind of community outreach person as well too. So not only does she do a great job at YPN, but she's also well known in the community for the work that she does as well. So bienvenida, Liz.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for being here.
Yes. So Liz is a little bit nervous. I told her not to be. She has just an amazing story. She's an amazing person. And again, we learn a great deal from her on a daily basis. So we're just having a conversation. Okay. So for everybody, I might throw in a couple of Spanish words here and there. If I do, I'll translate in English as well for everybody. But so this could be an educational session for folks as well to learn a couple English, Spanish words. Okay. So Liz, tell us a little bit about you. Just your background, whatever you want to share with us about you, your family, your educational background, just anything that you want to share with the listeners today.
Okay. I am from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I live all my life there in a little city called Jalapa. I love that city.
Mm-hmm.
I moved here to United States, Cedar Rapids, almost 5 years ago.
Okay.
So everything was new, the language, everything. So it's a big change for me.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I have a husband, my little son, 4 years old, my turtles, and my 2 dogs.
Yes, turtles and 2 dogs as well. The other thing that I want to point out to the listeners is that Liz has an amazing talent with plants, and she's just amazing. So if you go into her office, it looks a little bit like a jungle, but in a good way. It's beautiful, right?
I would like to have a jungle. I have a little jungle in my home, but yes.
Oh, perfect. So Liz, one of the things that struck me about your background is, we serve a very high number of immigrant and refugee families, right? So one of the things that struck me about your background is that you have gone through a lot of the same experiences that they have too when they come to a completely new environment. So that's really, I'm sure, has helped you gain the trust of those populations as well, right? So that's very important. But tell us a little bit about, when you look at YPN, what led you to the organization?
I was participant before.
Yeah.
I know I was the best participant, but just the life, because I know I was sure to go to one event, the picnic, summer, and just that day was, okay, we tried this. And you was there.
I remember talking to you,
and
yes.
You talked with me,
yes.
And just give me the open door. And always think, I always think, like, if you have the opportunity, you apply for the opportunity.
That's right.
The only, bad things can happen is they're gonna say no. But you can continue, and that's it. And
yes.
I applied for the job. I'm not sure why you guys select me, but I am very happy for that.
We know why. You're an amazing individual, and I appreciate you sharing that story, because I still remember, I think you were under a little tent because it was kind of sunny that day, and your family was there, and I just kind of discussed the opportunity with you briefly, and then you're right. You applied and things happened, much like it happened with me too when I applied to YPN. So we're very happy to have you, and thanks for sharing that as well. So tell me a little bit about, obviously you've been at YPN for how long?
2 years.
2 years, yeah. So you've seen a little bit too of the growth, and I will like to let the listeners know also the great job that you have done to grow our Latino participants as well too, and we see the relationships that you build, when we see you interact with them too, which is very powerful to see. But tell us a little bit more about YPN itself as you see the organization. What's YPN to you?
Right now is we always see YPN like a family, like a big family. And I have all the participants feeling the same. I try to let them know I am there for them, and we are here for them. So I see YPN grown. All the Thursday I see new face. So it's amazing. And when the Latino community was hard to connect with them, I share things, yes, the language, maybe the culture, but at the beginning was just no feeling connection with them. I start to create that.
Yes.
And was very hard. No, it's easy.
No.
And right now they are looking for me. They ask me about their child, about what they need. They share information. Maybe they not feeling comfortable with other people. So I try to let them know they are on YPN, not for me. It's because YPN. That is the mission.
Yes. That's what drives us, right? So I'll let the listeners know also that Liz's office is next to me, and I hear her nonstop on the phone with participants. So I know that you get a lot of phone calls from the participants. But again, that's a testament to you and the great relationships that you have helped develop with the families too. And they see you not only as a great resource, but also as a great person, right? So you're there to help, and your heart's in the right place, and we certainly see that as well. So talking about the families and the participants we work with, how do the families at YPN inspire you on a daily basis?
They are dreaming. They have a lot of dreams.
Dreams?
So, yes.
Yeah.
So they think some big can be here, like here or in the countries they come from. But they think in big.
Yes.
I don't know how to explain.
Yeah.
Ellos son soñadores.
Yep. So they're dreamers.
Yes.
They dream big.
Yes.
Right?
So that inspires me a lot. I see the difficulty they have, but they always work very hard.
Very hard.
Yes.
They always work very hard. You're exactly right. And many of those, participants that we work with have come from very difficult experiences back home too.
Yes.
Right? So not only are we helping them, with the next stage in life here in the United States, but we're also having to navigate a lot of the trauma that they have seen as well, right? And being from Mexico yourself too, you can probably relate to some of those challenges too, being an immigrant yourself to the country, and some of the challenges that also poses as well. One of the things that we always say at YPN is that we believe that all of the staff members are leaders. And we've talked about that, right? She's smiling at me right now. How do you hope to impact, YPN staff and families as a person? So as Liz, how do you hope to impact your coworkers and the families?
I'm not sure. I try to do my work, and I always try to do my best in that. And if somebody say help me, I'm gonna be there.
Yes.
And I'm gonna assure like I provide the help that they need. And I impacted them, but I just for be there and be helpful. I think so.
Yeah, and that's certainly one thing that I will say that you do is show up. You step up and show up when things are needed. you're often one of the the great people that always say, "I'm happy to help," and that people feel that on a daily basis. So not only the staff but also the participants. So we not everybody does that. So we certainly appreciate that. So let's talk about a little bit about the families that you serve on a daily basis. So when you look at the population, are there certain needs that you see that they need support with, that you help them with? What are some of those top needs for the population that you work with?
I work for two communities,
Yes.
the Haiti families.
Oh, yeah, from Haitian,
They
from
are-
Haiti, yes.
Yes, the new population I start to service, and the Latino community. So they have different needs. Housing sometimes is a struggle, and you can have 3-4 families living in the same place. That means it's very hard for them. They don't have space. They don't have the good environment for the child.
Yes.
And sometimes that is hard. Jobs, that is another, because they don't have the legal immigration status. So they have the job, any job. Sometimes it's like good pay, or they don't have a security job. Like, I be sure I'm gonna be there for a long time.
Right.
I'm gonna have that money each month. No, sometimes they have the job, sometimes no. So they need to look again in the community. I think so. Nutrition. Yes. They maybe have food pantries or another service, but we need educate so much in that aspect. What is the good food for them? Nutrition food.
Yes.
And more because they have child.
Right.
And I see sometimes child drinking Coke. Oh,
Yeah.
something like that is like, no, we need to change that.
For sure. So one of the things that you stress there is just our approach to wellness is pretty holistic too. So we're not only looking at parenting skills, but we're also looking at the environment that the child is living in and helping to stabilize that and to improve it for them too, right? So that's super important as well too. So we appreciate you sharing those, and those are not easy issues to solve, right? There's no easy solution. But as you mentioned, one of the most important things for our families to know is that we're here for them, and we're here to help educate and empower them to essentially someday not need YPN anymore, for them to do great things, because we know that they have it within themselves to do great things as well too. So the last question I have for you is probably the most important, because we want to hear from you on this, right? What is your why? Why do you come to YPN every day?
I think so, in Mexico I work for the government, and I provide therapy for people who had a big problems, like violence domestic, pederasty, so many things, bad things. And I see YPN like preventing area. If we help the family to build the skills, to help the child to build the skill to protect in a long time life, I think so we're gonna have less victims, less bad things in the work.
That's right. Yeah. So we try to do our part, to help folks that might be going through a lot of challenges, but ultimately it's to help stabilize that family unit, right? However that family's made up, or what background they come from, because the stronger they are, the stronger the community will be, right? Regardless of who they are. But Liz, this has been amazing. I'm going to ask you one more question though. Okay, a fun one. What do you do to relax on a daily basis? Because we know, as I mentioned, you get those phone calls left and right. There's people needing you every day. So what do you do to relax?
I like anime, so...
Oh, you like, that's right, anime.
Yes. I am an adult who likes so many anime. And so I see some... right now is One Piece. And take my coffee, see my churros eating is very relaxing for me. My husband just laughed about that, but it's really relaxing for me. Be with my child, my husband.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. The best, right?
Yes.
So Liz, thank you so much for joining us. I'm not the only one that thinks the world of you and your story. Like I said, I still remember the conversation we had at that picnic, that day, and we're just so proud of everything that you have accomplished and the impact that you continue to have, again, not only on the participants, but also on the staff. You help us on a daily basis and make us stronger. So thanks so much for joining us, and thanks to the listeners for also tuning in. Again, Liz, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to My Why, a YPN podcast. We can't make our impact without your support. Please consider donating to YPN. Your gift will make a difference. Visit www.ypniowa.org/give to donate today.